When my husband, David Miller, came home with a wide grin on his face, I knew he had something planned. "Guess what?" he said, setting his briefcase down. "Tom's throwing a party this weekend. He wants us both to come." Tom was one of David's oldest friends from college, now a successful real estate agent with a taste for throwing grand parties. I hesitated. "You know, parties aren't really my thing." David laughed. "I know. But this one's different. Just a night with friends, good music, good food. You'll like it, Sarah." I wanted to say no, to retreat into my comfort zone, but part of me thought maybe it wouldn't hurt to step out for once. So I smiled faintly and agreed. Tom's house was as extravagant as ever, a mansion in the suburbs, lights twinkling in the yard, music floating out into the night air. Inside, the rooms buzzed with chatter and laughter. David slipped easily into conversations with his friends, his charisma shining. I stayed by his side at first, clutching my drink, trying to ease into the rhythm. As the night went on, David grew more animated, laughing louder, drinking more. I watched him from a distance as he threw his arm around his friends, telling stories I'd never heard before. At first, I smiled. He looked happy, but then something shifted. It started small. I noticed David leaning in too close to a woman I didn't recognize. She laughed at his jokes, touched his arm lightly, and instead of stepping back, he leaned closer. My heart sank. I told myself it was nothing. Just party chatter, friendly banter. But as the night stretched on, the closeness between them became harder to ignore. At one point, I found myself alone on the balcony, trying to breathe through the tightness in my chest. That's when Tom walked up. "You okay?" he asked gently. I forced a smile. "Yeah, just needed some air." But Tom's eyes followed my gaze back inside, landing on David and the woman. His jaw tightened. He didn't say anything, but his silence said enough. On the drive home, I didn't say a word. David hummed along to the radio, oblivious to the storm raging inside me. When we got home, I finally asked, "Who was she?" David blinked, caught off guard. "Who?" "The woman you were with most of the night." He frowned, defensive. "Just someone Tom knows." "Why? What's the big deal?" "The big deal," I said quietly, "is that you forgot I was even there." The words hung in the air like a blade. David sighed. "Sarah, you're overthinking this. It was just harmless fun." But to me, it didn't feel harmless at all. The days that followed were heavy. I found myself questioning everything. The way David looked at me, the way he laughed at my jokes, the way he said he loved me. Was it all still real? Or had something shifted that night? I tried to push the doubts away, but they gnawed at me. I replayed the party over and over in my head, every laugh, every glance, every smile that wasn't meant for me. One evening, I couldn't hold it in any longer. "I need to know the truth," I said, my voice trembling. "Do you want this marriage, David? Do you still want us?" He looked at me, truly looked, and for once the charm was gone. His shoulders sagged. "Sarah, I messed up. I was careless, and I hurt you. But I swear it didn't mean anything. You mean everything to me." Tears stung my eyes. "Then why did it feel like I didn't exist that night?" David didn't answer right away. Instead, he walked over, knelt in front of me, and said, "Because I got caught up in being someone I used to be, the college guy who craved attention. But that's not who I want to be anymore. Not if it costs me you." Apologies are easy. Forgiveness is hard. In the weeks that followed, David tried, really tried. He came home earlier, planned dinners, listened more. But trust isn't something that rebuilds overnight. I was cautious, guarded. I wanted to believe him, but the image of that night still haunted me. One rainy evening, I found myself sitting by the window, staring at the drops racing down the glass. David sat beside me, silent for a long time. Then he said, "Tell me what I need to do to make this right." I looked at him, the sincerity in his eyes, and realized something. Healing wasn't just about what he could do. It was about whether I was willing to open the door again. Slowly, we began to find new rhythms. We went on walks after dinner, talked more about our fears and hopes, and even started attending counseling together. It wasn't easy. Some days I felt like giving up. But other days I saw glimpses of the man I married, The one who held my hand during thunderstorms, who made me laugh when I wanted to cry. And I realized something important. Love isn't about never falling. It's about choosing to stand back up together, even when it's hard. Looking back, that party feels like a turning point. The night I saw the cracks in our marriage. The night I felt betrayal cut through me like glass. But it was also the night I realized what trust really means. It isn't blind. It isn't perfect. It's fragile, and it has to be cared for over and over again. David and I are still learning, still growing. Some days are harder than others. But now, when he looks at me, I don't see the man craving attention. I see the man who chose to fight for us. And maybe that's what trust really is. Not the absence of betrayal, but the decision to heal from it together.